So what do you see as an important way of using classical text with this Laban approach?
For me, in general, when I explore classical text and perform classical text, the most important thing is to find how this language itself affects me as a performer, to connect to it to the degree where all the imagery and the poetry of the language gets deep into my body. And that's where Laban comes very, very useful, because being aware of how we function, how we move, how we basically do everything, every movement in our life, including the movement of thought, allows you as a performer to go much deeper. Where art thou, Death? Come hither, come. Come and take a queen worth many babes and beggars. Sir, I will eat no meat. I'll not drink, sir. Idle talk will once be necessary. I'll not sleep neither. This mortal house I'll ruin, do Caesar what he can. Know, sir, that I will not wait pinioned at your master's court, nor once be chastised with the sober eye of dull Octavia. Shall they hoist me up and show me to the shouting valetry of censuring Rome? Rather a ditch in Egypt be gentle grave unto me. Rather on Nilus mud lay me stark naked, and let the waterflies blow me into abhorring. Rather make my country's high pyramids my gibbets, and hang me up in chains. I dreamt there was an emperor, Antony. Oh, such another sleep that I might see but such another man. His face was as the heavens, and therein stuck a sun and moon that kept their course and lighted this little, the earth. His legs bestride the ocean, his reared arm crested the world. His delights were dolphin-like. They showed his back above the elements he lived in. In his livery stood crown and crownets. Realms and islands were like plates dropped from his pocket. Think you there was or might be such a man as this I dreamt of? So what is interesting about Cleopatra? She is famous for her infinite variety. And so if we even try to think what Laban effort describes her better, I think we'll get confused pretty quickly, because she's constantly moving from one to another.
How did she start?
Right after her dagger was taken from her after an attempted suicide, her energy must have been all over the place. She would be very agitated. And what she wants to do is to establish her regal status, to get back in control.
What kind of qualities does she use?
So that would be bound flow, the ability to stop and change, yeah, to be in control of the situation. Where art thou, Death? Come hither, come, come and take a queen worth many babes and beggars. And so that's pretty measured, establishing her regal control, her bound flow.
And as you say, you have the word queen in the line.
Yeah.
And its opposition is she's more important than all these babes and beggars, which is an opposite state for
yes.
you then.
Yeah, we'll see oppositions present in her speech at all times. She's regal, but she's mortal. And she immediately is refusing all this physical. I will eat no meat.
To eat and refuses to drink. So
yes, sir, I will eat no meat. I'll not drink, sir. If idle talk will once be necessary, I'll not sleep neither. So there's immediately some distraction. We remember it's a public scene, so there are people around. Someone reacted, and she sees it immediately. She is always very present, always very connected, still bound. This mortal house I'll ruin. Do Caesar what he can. But the thoughts about Caesar being so dishonored, taken to Rome as a trophy of war. And so her reaction is, "No, sir, that I will not wait pinioned at your master's court, nor once be chastised with the sober eye of dull Octavia." Of course, that carries her away a little. On the flow scale, she immediately switches from control to free flow. Time becomes more sudden. This
So the moment you're talking about how you're moving on the continuum of flow and time, the sudden and the sustained. What about the force? You like to call it the force, the use of weight as an action.
Yes, how I feel it is her regal status does not require her to use a lot of force, but the thoughts of Octavia, I guess that brings a lot of purely physical anger in her, and so there will be increase in force, and the very music of the language, the words themselves, they lead us there. This lovely pinioned, sharp word stands out in this line.
Yes, pinioned, of course, is, you said she was regally having a bound flow because she wasn't gonna lose that status. Pinioned is when you're even further crushed down, your wings are removed.
Yeah.
It's not gonna just be free flow so they can take her.
Right, yes, that's a very good word. Not allowing to crush, will not wait pinioned, nor once be chastised with the sober eye of dull Octavia.
She hates her.
She hates her, of course.
She's never met her, I believe. Is that right?
But hate is something that is beneath her as the queen at the same time. So it's denying this hate even more than allowing the hate to take her. So there's a constant fight between what she wants and what happens to her.
So her status is maintaining that upward lift.
Yeah.
Yes. Because then she's going on to talk about she'd rather be in a ditch.
Which element are we forgetting? So we talked about flow, force, time, space.
Now the space, you're talking about being hoisted up, so you're going beyond where you want to be, and you're, so that people can laugh at you. The valor.
Yeah, I think we already showed it physically, because what comes here is the growing up, taking more space, because she just refuses to be pinioned there. Hoist me up and show me to the shouting belfry of censuring Rome, and she grows immediately. But she's not direct in her nature. Yeah, she changes so quickly, and another change brings her from Rome immediately to Egypt, even in one line. Of censuring Rome, rather a ditch in Egypt. No, I say here. Rather a ditch in Egypt, be gentle, grave unto me. Rather on Nilus mud lay me stark naked, and let the waterflies blow me into a pouring. And Egypt is connected with her mother energy. Nilus mud is not what we think is mud, is what gives life. Back to flow and back to slow time, and very sensual.
Lost the bound quality now.
There was flow of anger with a fast time, and now it's the flow of sensual, even sexual energy, of Nilus giving life to this land. And again, even the music of these words, the alliterations, the rather on Nilus mud lay me stark naked. And we have long vowels in lay me stark naked, and let the waterflies blow me into a pouring, and the space that opens here.
The contrast, and then she's going into the pyramid. She's going high, next bit.
Yeah, so huge contrast happening in every line. And immediately, rather make my country's high pyramids, my gibbets, and hang me up in chains, again opening to her fate, challenging them.
So we have poetic scales going from talking about the mud of the Nile and then up to the pyramids, which are ideas of Egypt that the audience has. And then you're also changing your emotions, as you're saying, from being a sexual and decadent down there to them being hoisted up, being held up.
Yeah. And those energies and this combination of space-time flow brings Antony to her. I dreamt there was an emperor, Antony. Oh, such another sleep that I might see, but such another man. Yeah, and again, she slows down. She indulges in. Yeah, she indulges in the flow, into this flow, and yeah, and she's all there in the dreams of the past and of the future at the same time. She's made her decision. She's steel hard inside because she knows where she's going. She's already made her decision. But on the surface, it's all open and indulging to the flow and slowing down, and in her dreams of Antony. His face was as the heavens, and therein stuck a sun and moon which kept their course and lighted the little O, the earth. His legs bestride the ocean, his reared arm crested the world, his voice was propitied as all that unit spheres, and that to friends. But when he meant to quail and shake the orb, he was as rattling thunder. So again, growing from inside.
Voice, your actions are creating this imagined Antony in a dream of being spacious and expansive, and then rattling and wild.
The images are universal. Yeah, his eyes like sun and moon, lighting the little O of the earth. You don't even understand. It's huge. Yeah, you can't get even nowhere near him. And I'm going
maybe that's worth saying at this symposium about scale, about how you imagine the scale of things around you, and then talking about the little earth, the perspective. I mean, these are ideas to connect us together in this community that uses Laban-based ideas.
To follow her through all the images brings her to delights. His delights were dolphin-like. They showed his back above the element they lived in. And that's little lighter, more playful, and very sensual. The treasure of the memory. If you look at the text on page, you see most lines are not end-stopped. Yeah, we have the end of the sentence in the middle of the line. So it all flows from one thought to another. She's thinking very quickly, and she's changing very quickly. In his livery walked crowns and crownets. So she's bringing herself from the highest cloud of imagination back to earth, to crowns and crownets, to the reality of political life. In this line, even the sounds bring you back on earth as plates dropped from his pocket. Here we are, without him, on this earth. And so the only thing left facing this reality. Think you there was, or might be, such a man as this I dreamt of? Back to earth, back to reality, but with her decision already made.